Have you ever seen a shadow that doesn't cast in the mirror? Security cameras are made to catch everything, but this thing didn't appear in any frame until you slow it down second by second. Some recordings are dismissed as technical glitches. Blurry moments, bad lighting, nothing more. But not this one. A ceiling-mounted camera in a laundromat in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, captured something at 3:12 a.m. on April 12, 2017. The footage was deleted from the system just 4 hours later. There was no break-in, no missing persons, no police report. But something did show up, then vanished. The owner only found out after a new employee asked, "That shadow, who was it following?" Because there was no one there. Since then, no one's spoken about it again. The event took place in Springview Laundry, a 24-hour laundromat located on the east side of Milwaukee. The neighborhood is quiet, mostly residential, and the business had been operating for over 12 years without a single police call. The footage was recorded by a Model 7 ceiling camera, part of a newly installed system that the owner, Helen Marlowe, had requested just 2 weeks earlier due to strange complaints. Customers had mentioned a strange smell, like burnt paper, and said the dryer sometimes turned on by themselves. One even left a voicemail saying, "There was someone standing behind me in the mirror, but when I turned around, no one was there." On the night of April 12th, the store was empty. No check-ins, no movement from the front door, no alarms. But at 3:12 a.m., the motion sensor activated in the east corner of the building, where the mirror and the change machine are located. There was no sound, no footsteps, but the shadow appeared. The only person on shift that night, a part-time employee named Jake Collin, had stepped outside for a cigarette and was not inside the store during the incident. When he came back, everything looked normal, until he reviewed the camera feed the next day, and then deleted it. Jake Collin didn't report anything at first. He simply told the owner the system glitched and wiped the footage. But Helen didn't buy that, especially after she noticed something strange in the back room. A metal key, one that usually hung near the breaker panel, was found on the floor, still slightly warm to the touch. It was labeled Cam Lock, Room 2. The thing is, there is no Room 2, not officially. When Helen brought in the building's original blueprint, signed and dated from 2005, Room 2 didn't exist, only a supply closet. But when she opened that door, it went deeper than a closet. What she found was a narrow, windowless hallway leading to a sealed interior room, one she claimed to have never seen before. Inside was a dusty, unused utility space, old shelves, wiring, a broken stool. But what caught her attention was a small infrared camera mounted in the ceiling corner. Helen remembered asking the installer to place one extra camera in the back, just in case. But when she checked the system, that camera had never recorded anything, not a single second, not even static. 3 weeks after the footage was lost, a gas station less than 2 blocks from Springview Laundry picked up something on its camera. At 2:46 a.m., a figure appeared on the edge of the parking lot, standing completely still. Tall, slender, no visible facial features, but it wasn't the shape that drew attention. It was the shadow. Despite the bright overhead lights, the figure cast no shadow at all, not even when it moved. It remained motionless for nearly 47 minutes just beyond the curb, always just barely visible in the corner of the frame. Then, as a delivery van pulled in, the figure turned and began to walk away. For a split second, the security light glinted off something metallic on its chest, something that looked like a name tag. Gas station employee Rick Henderson, who reviewed the footage, said it looked like it said J-A-K-E. Jake Collin, the laundromat employee, had stopped showing up for work 5 days earlier. When Helen tried to reach him, the call went to voicemail. When she visited his apartment, It was locked, and the landlord said Jake had moved out overnight. But then, just one day after the gas station footage surfaced, the file corrupted. The entire hard drive failed, only on that night's footage. Police said it was likely just a power surge, but the timing? Too perfect. The questions started piling up, and none of them had good answers. Why was the key warm? Keys don't stay warm on the floor unless someone, or something, was holding it just moments before. Why did the footage from the laundromat get deleted? And then the gas station footage get corrupted weeks later? Was someone monitoring where this thing showed up? Or was it something else? Something erasing its own trail? Why did Jake Collin disappear right after seeing the footage? Was he running? Or was he taken? And the strangest part of all, that mirror in the laundromat, the one above the change machine, was removed 2 days after the incident. Helen claimed she broke it while cleaning, but her maintenance logs show no request for replacement, no receipt, and no cleanup. Just a single note scribbled at the bottom of the April 14th logbook. It kept showing something that wasn't there. Some say Jake never existed. No payroll, no address filed with the city. Others think Helen staged the whole thing. But if so, what's the room behind room 2? And why was there no record of that camera in the system at all? And most of all, why does no one remember hiring Jake Collin in the first place? Maybe Jake Collin never existed. Maybe the figure wasn't following anyone, but instead waiting for someone to notice it. Or maybe the camera didn't malfunction. Maybe it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Maybe it captured something that was never meant to be seen. And the key? What if it wasn't just to unlock a door? What if it was a trigger? A signal? Something that should have stayed hidden? Some believe that room 2 was never built, that the hallway was just there one day. Others think Jake found something he shouldn't have, something that didn't want to be found. And as for the mirror, the one that kept showing something that wasn't there, it was never replaced. In its place now, a black painted panel, no reflection, no image, just darkness. Some cases never get solved. They don't close, they don't fade. They just sit quietly, waiting for someone else to look too closely, because not every shadow is cast by light, and not every mirror shows what's real. If you've ever seen something like this, something in the corner of your eye that disappears when you look, leave a comment. Tell your story. And if you want more unsolved cases like this, subscribe. Because sometimes the camera sees more than it should, and sometimes it doesn't.